Good evening and welcome to the season 12 finale of 20-somethings, a show for 20-somethings by 20-somethings. Today we're going to be talking about the Michael movie premiere, the I-10 and I-95 on-ramp collapse, and Big Red. I'm your host, Ivan Nasovsky, and joining me today we have Patrick, Morgan, and Owen.
Thank you for having me.
How are we all doing today?
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
Good.
Fantastic.
Alrighty, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Michael, the movie has debuted in theaters last Friday and has already grossed $39.5 million as of Sunday. But some have mixed feelings on the film. Let's take a look.
The Michael Jackson movie opened with a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is not what we expected. But calm down, all right? There are some potential reasons as to why they gave the score a 27%, and there's also a bunch of reasons as to why you shouldn't give a shit about it. Sure, the critics gave it a 27%, but the audience score hasn't come out, and everybody that I've talked to who's gone to the Michael premiere, I have a bunch of friends who have all said that this movie has so much heart. It's literally the Michael story retold on the silver screen. And maybe a huge reason as to why the score is so low is because this movie is part one of the two-part series that's going to be coming out. One of my friends, Chris, said that this movie feels literally like one half of a movie. It ends pretty abruptly without any sort of conclusion.
So, I honestly don't know what the whole fuss is about. I mean, based off the trailer, because I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet. I know you said you've seen it.
I saw it.
It looks like a very well put together movie, and it seems like the audience likes it. So, what gives?
Well, I think Michael Jackson is truly the most famous non-religious figure that has existed in our in history, and no wonder that the box office scores are so high because he's so well renowned around the world, and people are going to go see it. I know that this is like Lionsgate's most successful film in the past 10 years. That being said, there is something to be said about kind of also the subject matter of the film. He's one of the most documented people of all time. Everyone has already seen this, have already seen pretty much his whole life. So, of course, there's going to be inadequacies that people are going to kind of be like, well, that's not really him, because we've seen him. We saw him grow up. We saw his death, just his whole life in front of our eyes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I saw the film. I liked it. I thought it was good. I know there was a lot of mixed opinions on it. From a viewer standpoint, I thought it was pretty good. I loved the music portrayal that they had in the movie. I enjoyed it. And I also didn't know it was a two-part series. I was like, how are they going to fit every detail or as much as they can into one movie? So when the movie ended, I was like, that's it? I didn't know it was two parts, but I look forward to seeing the next part of the movie and what they decide to include, what they don't decide to include, and go from there.
So it makes sense why it felt like it was only half a movie, is because there was the other half still to be shown.
Sorry, Yvonne, what were we going?
But I feel like, especially like recently, like it's been kind of happening where they've been breaking films up into parts. Like, for example, I know in 2028 with the Beatles films, they're going to have 4 separate films. I know you're excited for that.
The only thing that it has to be said is, like, if they mess up one movie, then no one's going to go see the other 3. And also, seeing them separately, like, most people aren't like, I can't wait to go see Ringo. Like, that's going to be the best one. Like, you know what I mean? Whereas, but seriously, like.
I am excited to go see my man Ringo.
But if Ringo is the one that starts it off, right? Or you start with John and then you end with Ringo. Like, how do you put it in order? I know it's supposed to be decades based. But this is really the thing that we're coming on with biopics now, is that there's so many, and it's like, we've seen these people's lives. We saw this happen. Like, do we really need 4 2-hour, I'm assuming 2-hour long movies of the same story? I know it's different people and it ended differently in the end. Also, with the Michael movie, a lot of people are criticizing it because it does sanitize the portrayal of Joe Jackson. It also doesn't have a lot of his allegations at the end, but they actually spent $50 million to reshoot it because they found out that in one of the settlements, it was never to be allowed to be depicted on film. And so they significantly had to reshoot the ending. I think that's also why it doesn't feel like a complete movie as well.
But the thing is, and especially going back to what you said earlier, the thing with biopics is that you can't have a movie that's 100% accurate to the story. We've seen this with Bohemian Rhapsody. We've seen this with Ray. We've seen this with a few countless others. You can't fully follow what happened.
It's too big of a time span. You can't fit it all into one movie.
Right. And it's like, you got to drive a certain narrative, that's kind of the rule of film. Even if it does follow a premeditated structure, it kind of has to push the story forward. You got to have, you know, your rising action. You got to have a climax. You got to have the falling action. You know what I'm saying?
It's sad too because this movie made so much money, and Hollywood is very much so cookie cutter. If this musical biopic made money, I know that we've already had 3 in the year: the Bob Dylan movie, the Bruce Springsteen movie, now this. They're gonna make a lot more. So even though this might have been done in the best spirits, a lot more stuff is gonna be coming out with a lot more musical biopics that may not be as faithful to the artist.
Any other thoughts about this?
No?
I mean, overall, like I said earlier, I think, based off what I saw, I think it's very put together. Unlike most infrastructure here in Rhode Island. A few days ago,
Perfect transition.
the on-ramp from Route 10 to I-95 collapsed and fell onto the train tracks, effectively shutting down train lines from Boston to New York. So let's take a look at the clip.
News is out of Cranston tonight. A big part of a barrier on a bridge has fallen onto train tracks tonight. The debris is completely across the tracks. That's been delaying and even halting some Amtrak trains tonight. 4 services are already canceled for tomorrow. The on-ramp from Route 10 North to 95 North is currently closed. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Patrice Wood. Dan is off. The scene is unfolding near Route 10 and Wellington Avenue, and that's where we find the night team's Leanna Falk live with the impacts. Leanna?
Yeah, Patrice, between Amtrak and RIDOT, there are about 24 crews here on Wellington Avenue in Cranston. We just heard from a representative with Governor Dan McKee's office. Governor McKee is here. He and Cranston Mayor Hopkins are working with crews assessing the current damage. Now, media has been pushed back because of some of the structural concerns surrounding this bridge, so we can't see what they see, but what we can show you is what is left, or what is left of that ramp that has kind of fallen onto the tracks here. Now, our photographer is zooming in towards Route 10. This is the ramp that connects Cranston to Providence, and you can see that there is part of it where construction was ongoing and it is no longer there. Now, Cranston police say parts of the Route 10 North ramp to I-95 North detached and fell onto the tracks below. That collapse forcing Amtrak to halt service between Boston and Kingston due to a signal outage. The MBTA also canceling a Providence line train out of Wickford Junction. Our NBC 10 photographer saw wires down across the tracks, and city leaders say safety is the top priority right now as crews assess the damage. Cranston's mayor says clearing this mess will not be quick.
It's ridiculous.
This has got to be the most Rhode Island thing that has ever happened to the state of Rhode Island. Like, what is going on
All
here?
the bridges are all bad. Like the Washington Bridge.
You'd think with all the construction and all the traffic that the bridges wouldn't fall apart. Like that
For the amount
would be
that they work on
that
them.
wouldn't be an issue, but it seems that it is. But
Well, that's the thing, because I feel it heavily as a commuter. It seems like the entire state is under construction, yet somehow everything is breaking. Like,
Yeah.
like on 295, going up to my house, there's literally a section of 295 that has been closed down to 2 lanes instead of 3. It's been there for over a year.
well, even so, coming to I'm not local, but coming up to school, like for instance, 84 will be closed for them trimming the grass on the side. Like meanwhile, if you go on 95, like and you're mowing the grass, like you're getting hit if someone moves them too close to the left. Like it seems like I don't know. They're not planning out this construction thoroughly. It feels like.
What I'll say though is that it's a hard state to maintain infrastructure in because you get all the seasons. So when you build a new road, the water gets into the asphalt, it expands when it freezes, and it's a recurring cycle. So being able to keep up with it is definitely difficult. But I think when it's a systemic issue, it seems like where these bridges are collapsing or on the brink of collapse that are very busy, it's a little scary, especially because like I commute on one of them every day to go to work. It's not great.
Oh, and I like what you said too about just like the planning of it's hard because we get all seasons, but also we are an older state too.
Right.
So like for instance, that one covered bridge coming to campus, like that looks like it's a man-made bridge, like made out of stone, and like you don't want to mess up the original architecture of it. So it's a hard balance of like updating everything to modern standards and like keeping what makes the state the state.
Correct.
But it's like, I understand we have seasons, and obviously, like you said, we are on the older side when it comes to U.S. states, but it's like, and I understand like there are states where it's like you have a lot of traffic and a lot of infrastructure to take care of, say New York or Texas, for example, but we're the smallest freaking state. We got
But we still have a large population, though. Just because we're small size-wise doesn't mean that our population's small, too. We are one of the densest states in the whole country. So, and like think about how many roads we actually have. Everyone's confined to taking 195, 295, or 95. So you have 3 major highways you can take. That's not a lot of roads. Like, that's a lot of people in a small amount of area. So it doesn't help.
It just is there a solution to this? I think that's the
Fix
one
the
question.
bridges.
Well,
Well,
they're trying to fix the bridges, and clearly it ain't working.
not
So
fast enough.
I think there's also an issue too. Whereas if one of these roads goes down, there's no other way to get to somewhere.
There's no detour.
In Rhode
No
Island,
detour.
it's pretty much like if Point Judith Road goes down, you're stuck in Point Judith. You know what I mean? There's no way out of it.
Yeah.
So I think there needs to be some game planning there of, God forbid there is a disaster, how do we move outside of this town or state?
Yeah.
when I applied to college, one of the other colleges that I almost went to was Roger Williams, and after December of 2023, I was so happy that I go here instead, because that's really the only way to get to Roger Williams, unless you're willing to drive to the bottom of the state, then cross the Newport Bridge.
And even that bridge is old, and it looks like it's not
Goes
great.
90 degrees up, 90
The
degrees
lanes
down.
are like this narrow.
Yeah.
Like it's not
And
ideal.
don't forget about the tolls
Yep.
Yeah.
that are
Yeah, the
supposedly
tolls.
supposed to go to help
Yes.
maintain our bridges.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes.
I think it's taken a big toll on all of us.
Oh,
It is, and
And, yeah. No, yeah.
I mean, I think the traffic it's bad. It's not that bad, like, because I'm from New York, so it's like we have traffic like that all the time,
Yeah.
everywhere. So like, for the Washington Bridge at least, like when I get on it, it's maybe like 5 minutes of traffic, and then once you get past it, it's over. But
yeah.
for people who are from here who don't know anything else, it makes sense why it'd be annoying and completely foreign.
I mean, the traffic doesn't really bother me. I'm pretty cool with traffic, but like, if you go to people from like Foss to Gloucester, they're just like, the second there's like more than 5 cars, it's like,
Because they're from the middle of nowhere.
right. It's just, I don't know, with Rhode Island, it seems like just a big code red. And speaking of red, do y'all remember Big Red?
Yes.
Yes.
So he's been making a big impression, pun intended, a Big Red impression on TikTok. Yeah, his clip's been going viral, so let's take a look at one of them.
Nice transition. That was a good transition. Right outro.
So similar to Michael Jackson, who we were talking about earlier, Big Red did grow up in front of our eyes, whether we like it or not. He was a part of the Doherty Dozen, so we kind of have seen him come into his own, and I think that's why people are so fond of him now. And it's, I wouldn't say he's a meme, but I'd say that he's like a part of popular culture, just because like we've always seen him for the past 5 years, and now he has a voice of his own.
I remember him from the days of the mini hoop basketball.
Yeah,
He
Lil
was
Hustle Back.
star.
Yeah.
A Big Red
Yeah.
meme in the Big 2-6.
I think that's really where we saw the break from the Doherty Dozen, and he
Yeah.
became his own man. I really do have to say, but no, I think it is something to say too about like how TikTok really is like how the 15 minutes of fame, like Andy Warhol prophecy
Oh,
came
yeah.
true. Whereas like this guy, we don't really know what he's gonna be doing in 5 years if he's gonna be popular. Like you see so many people that TikTok is rapid fire success and fame, and what's that gonna look like once that goes away?
It angers me when I see him on my For You page. I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know why or what it is about
Big
him.
Red.
It just
Does he make you turn red with rage?
he
Just plays
does.
basketball,
But I
man.
find it's so interesting, like just him doing whatever on TikTok. Now I see him. He goes to college campuses and like meets with like sororities and frats and goes and talks to them. These people get
I mean,
so
good for him.
excited.
I've seen
Good for
and
him.
it's crazy. It's so crazy
Yeah.
how like what you do on TikTok can really shape and mold you to do these other types of things. But I don't know, when I see him I get so I think I'm just so sick of seeing him on my For You page. But it is crazy seeing from where he started with like the Snackerty Dockerty board or whatever it is to now him visiting all these places. It's so crazy.
Definitely.
growth.
And there's been a lot of criticism with the Doherty Dozen too of exposing these kids to fame
Yeah.
so early. I mean, as child celebrities always have. but specifically just because so much of what they put out there was so public, and so like now he's growing up, like he's grown up in the public eye, and now he's so much of this like. I don't want to say like a sideshow attraction, but like people are like are paying for him just to say.
They
want to
see him.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
want to make TikToks with him. Like this dance is blown up, and I feel like it's because of him.
Yeah.
It's like Big Justice. It's
Exactly.
Like, it's
Or the
for
Rizzler.
existing.
Yeah.
Like it's
Big Justice, Rizzler, Hezbollah.
Or I've seen him go to a sorority chapter, and he didn't really get famous for anything except just being himself.
Yeah.
So he just kind of sits down in a chair and like we'll just talk to them. But it's not like he's not really a singer, not really. I mean, he does the TikTok dances, but like that's not what he doesn't provide anything fame-wise. Like
I mean,
he
I
just
think-
exists.
Yeah.
Like,
Honestly, I think it's kind of the best kind of fame where you become famous and you don't really have to change who you are. I mean, I feel like personally as a person in media, I think like I would love to get famous, you know?
yeah, definitely. But I think it just goes back to too, like, what are the side effects of it? Like, how is this going to look long term? Like, if the fame of Big Red doesn't stay around as much, what's that going to look like for his life after this?
Yeah, I mean that's very valid. I mean I think fame at that young age is kind of scary. I don't think it really is a good thing. So
It's just funny how the TikTok algorithm works, like, because like I see people who put their heart and soul and put out like very like captivating, very quality content, and it gets maybe like 20, 30, 50,000 views, right? And then it's something just like silly, simple, stupid, and it blows up. It gets hundreds of millions, and it's just like, what's happening
the
in that?
algorithm.
in
It's
that
the
little
Hawk Tua
algorithm?
podcast debate. Like, realistically, it is. Like, she got famous for this one video, and she has just capitalized on this one instance, this one soundbite, and made a successful career off of it. Same thing with him. His like family would just take videos of him with his siblings, and he's made a fortune probably. I mean, you know he's getting paid for these cameos, like, but just existing and being shown
Good
in
for
front of the
him.
camera. Yeah.
But like with the case of Hawk Tuah Girl, it's like the amount of out-of-pocket stuff I've said. How am I not famous? You know?
You're famous in your own way.
Uh,
You're famous in your own way.
me being famous in my own way doesn't pay the bills.
Well, you gotta start a cameo of on. You start doing puns and sending it to
Start
people.
making TikToks.
But I don't know what's next for who's going to be the next big star of TikTok.
you.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
I
it'll
hope.
be you.
Wait, we'll see, and we'll see you not next week because, as I mentioned at the start, this is the season finale. So we hope whoever comes in season 13 takes over where we left off. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'm Ivan Nasovsky, and this is 20 Something, season 12. Signing off.